What's up? Semen retention. Masculine frame is built to chase, not sit and overthink. Important thing to remember when you're on semen retention is to take action over everything. Even if you relapse, even if something happened, or you have things that might set you back. Whenever you're on this journey, bro, this is meant all to help you. It's not something, you know what I'm saying, it's all backed by you actually trying to change yourself and try to better yourself, and you got to take action with that. And a lot of times I think we could get on, this might be some guys that they get on similar attention, and they like, oh, as long as I'm not masturbating, as long as I'm not doing nothing sexually immoral, then I'm gonna be all right. When the thing is, it actually still takes hard work to get where you want to be in life. It's not just not releasing and not masturbating and not having sex or whatever. That's not what's gonna get you to the next level in life. It's all about how you use that sexual energy, because a lot of times you can waste sexual energy even not by releasing it. You get what I'm saying? Because you're not doing anything with your life. You're still sitting at home being lazy, even though you may not be masturbating, you may not be, you know what I'm saying, being promiscuous with a girl. But what's the point if you're not actually taking action to find a girlfriend or find a wife, work hard at your job or the career you want to have, pursue your dreams. That's what semen retention is supposed to help you do, get to the next level in life. It's not about just for the sake of being on semen retention and nothing else. It's just a tool. It's not the end all be all. It's not nothing it's not a magic pill. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna do anything for you if you're not willing to do anything with yourself. And that's just one thing that I've been realizing through the years of many times of me relapsing and stuff. I believe a lot of times I relapsed because I was like, well, as long as I'm not masturbating, I'll be all right. Like if you wake up in the morning and you just be like, I'm not gonna masturbate, but I'm not gonna do anything else with my life. Like you still not doing any of the habits you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You still not bettering yourself that day. you know, all you can say is I didn't masturbate, or I didn't release. That's not gonna help you. The thing that's gonna help you is when you say, okay, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna do this instead. You get what I'm saying? So when you wake up, instead of releasing and watching websites and self pleasuring, you wake up and say, oh, well, instead of doing this, I'm gonna replace that with going to the gym. I'm gonna replace that with reading the Bible. I'm gonna replace that with working on my business. I'm gonna replace that with working harder at my job, and focusing on things that can actually get me ahead in life and things that I genuinely love to do. You know, so I think that's gonna get a man ahead, and you know, sim retention is gonna return. It can make a man go back to who he really is, as far as like from a primal state. You know what I'm saying? We're not meant to just sit around. Uh, I think another thing to remember when I say chase is that you're a go getter. Whatever you want, you're gonna take that first step. You're gonna take that first. You're gonna take that initiative and that first action. You know, don't get that mixed up with like chasing a girl or whatever. But I am a believer in a guy could, he could take that first step and be the guy that's gonna ask the girl on the date. The guy that's gonna cold approach the girl. The guy that's gonna kind of be upfront and direct about kind of what he wants or whatever. Now, I'm not saying, it's a fine line between chasing something and wasting your time. Like, if you show that initiative in a girl or whatever, that first step to try to talk to her, and she not showing you interest, then anything after that is just wasting your time. When I say chase, that means we're gonna take that first step forward. We're gonna actually go towards what we want. You get what I'm saying? We're not just gonna sit and wait for something to happen to us. Even though I know I've said before, I believe, like, you know what I'm saying. It might be better if a girl, she show interest in you first, or whatever. But I think a better way to put it is, you know what I'm saying. You have to wait till the girl shows interest in you, but at the same time, you can still show your initial interest. And then after that, she has to show interest. So that's kind of what I mean by chase when it comes to dating or whatever. But outside of that, just a man's primal, the way he's actually supposed to be, the way his biological design. I think that's what semen retention returns the man to. Because I just remember times when I was younger, before I had a problem, whatever. with masturbation and all that other stuff. You know, I used to be way more energetic about like what I want to do in my life, and I was like a person that was like just way more interested in and I was like, I don't know, I was just much more, what's the word, initiative. Like I was wanting to go towards my goals and not just, sit back and, let stuff happen to me. And even though I was younger, I was like 14 before I had a problem with it. But I just think it's just important to know, like, you can have a major personality shift whenever you get addicted to, you know, lust and, watching the websites and self pleasuring and all that stuff and being promiscuous as well. Like, you can have a big personality shift. And I feel like that's what happened with me, and deep down, my personality, my natural personality is still there, but I keep it there. I keep it deep down because, you know what I'm saying? My brain has been damaged so much by, watching all this, inappropriate content and, you know, the websites and, masturbating and all that type of stuff. I've hurt myself mentally so much that I got to a place where I was just so scared to show who I really was again. Not that I'm some monster or whatever, but I'm just saying it was just harder to be naturally myself. And I think as a man, it takes away a man's natural nature. That's what it's gonna take away. And that's gonna be a horrible thing. This is where I think that like you start to have very broken men that do bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? They don't really be level headed. They're never in their right mind. And so the whole point of this video is just one thing I want guys to remember is it's always best to take action towards what you want to do in life. The more you sit and you wait, time go past. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 21, and I know if I don't do anything, I don't take action with what I want to do or whatever, 21 will turn to 23, 23 gonna turn into 26, 26 turn into 30. Before I know it, I'm an old man. So while this time is flying, I might as well do something with my life. You get what I'm saying? And actually go towards how I want to live it and how I want my lifestyle to be. A lot of guys get caught up in, well, let me sit and wait for the perfect moment. Let me sit and wait for the thing I really want to do. At the end of the day, bro, you never gonna find that perfect job. You never gonna find the perfect anything. Just find something that you can have a future in. Find something you could find something that you can be closest to your authentic self in. The more things you have that restrict you and cause you not to be yourself, that's the stuff that's gonna make you be miserable. And I think bad habits does that to you, as well as certain jobs or certain environments you be in. If you be around guys that pick on you, or you be just in the wrong environment, it's not gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? And you just gonna feel like you can't be who you really were made to be. And I believe every man, we're designed to have a certain nature about us. And yeah, man, I mean, I think I think that's pretty much all I got to say, man. Peace out.